Poke it right down. Yeah. Hello. So I'm just going to share something that I found encouraging this week. It sounds kind of silly because it was from a kid's picture book, but this week I've been getting library books ready for preschool. This term we are going to learn about the garden, which is mostly about insects. So anyway, I got some books about ants because one week we'll learn about ants, and this book was really neat, I thought. It's called The March of the Ants. And it's a story about ants that are going off on an expedition, and each ant said what they were going to bring. One of them was bringing food, one was bringing water, one was bringing a map, one was bringing tools, and then there was this little ant who said it was going to bring a book. And the other ant said, why on earth would you want to bring a storybook? What good is that going to do us? You know, it's not useful. But the ant insisted that she was bringing her book. And the other ants were a bit disgusted, and off they went. And they went on the expedition. But after a while, they all started to get tired and were starting to not want to march anymore. And some of them were getting sad. And so that little ant got out her book and started reading it to all the ants. And it gave the ants courage, and they all kept on marching again. And I just thought that was quite a neat picture. Well, for one, it encouraged me because I am a writer and I like to write books, and it just shows how powerful a book or our words can be, or any way that we have that we encourage others. It can be so important, because if we are a Christian, then we are a bit like an ant. We are a worker, and we have things to do that God has given us to do, and yet it can be tiring, and it can be exhausting, and it can be very discouraging. And so anything we do to encourage others is important, because it can be like that little book that gives encouragement to others, and it can help others on their way again. But also, so whatever way God has given you to encourage others, it is important. But also it is a picture of the book, the Bible. And you know, if we are a worker for God, then the Bible is so important, because we can be busy all the time, and yet we can get so discouraged or so tired. And it is so important to remember that this is what gives us refreshment and encouragement. And I read I'll just grab it. I have a little daily verse calendar, and there was a verse the other day which I thought was quite interesting. I hadn't noticed it before in the Bible. And it says, the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord. And it is from Acts 3 verse 19. And I think it's kind of a promise for the future, but whatever way you see it, it is true that we get refreshed when we spend time with the Lord. So if you're tired or weary, make sure you take some time just to stop and to read and to pray, and it will give you refreshment. So it's important to remember that, because it's easy to just be so busy. And yet I find sometimes if I'm having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, to just take a devotional or your Bible and just sit and read for a few minutes, and it can, even just one verse can do wonders to make you feel refreshed. And here are two craft ideas. This one is a caterpillar made out of like little mini muffin cases. And this one is for flowers. This one is just made out of little doilies. We have lots of them at preschool, so but I may as well use them up, make little flowers. Today's Hannah's birthday, so I just decorated a cake this morning. It's not very fancy compared to other cakes. She's probably the best one at decorating in our house, but it should be yum. And I mounted too much chocolate, so I made some little chocolate mounts. The leftover mounted chocolates.
Hello? Score 1.
Wow, point.
I score 100. Oh! Too fast for you. Score 2. Lead
Two.
ball. Passing. Yeah! You're out. Oh!
Point. Okay, now five.
Bump it to start.